guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but luckily I hadn't started the card reading. I was just talking. So, like I was saying, right? These karmics have kind of made themselves spiritual robots. Why was I mentioning that degree program? It's like the intersection of all those different things. Is because if you study those aspects, like if you study philosophy and mythology, if you study biology, if you study science, things like that, it will help you understand spirituality and how you move forward. Because even with these different AI, which I'm going to do a whole segment on technology, even with this different AI, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, all of that is actually mirroring spiritual capabilities, your third eye, your ability to dream, your ability to astral travel, etc. So basically, I wanted to talk about this. I say that to say these karmics are finding themselves in a situation now where they're kind of being used as an example in terms of this is what happens when you do too much spiritual set hopping. This is what happens when you don't pick a side. This is what happens when you play too much. It's like basically they wanted to play with the light in the dark and their DNA got blown the fuck open. Now these karmics are realizing, yeah, you got the spirit right here at the bottom of the deck. They're realizing what they forfeited now. They're realizing what they did to themselves spiritually. Because a lot of the things that you do, they get spiritually get logged in your 12-strand DNA. That's what these folks, they don't understand, that they just think, you're like, it was getting so good, you're so funny. They just think that they do things and then that's it, like whatever. They don't understand that it's always getting logged in your Akashic records. That's why the high priestess with the Akashic records sees everything and records everything that the magician does. You see? Then what does she do? She reports it to the empress, which is your ovaries, your womb, your eggs. There you go. What messages do you have regarding spiritual chimerism? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Ancestor support. A lot of these karmics are coming to find out that these people that they've been tampering with, because some of these karmics have been tampering with you spiritually. Remember, they've been calling on hoodoo, root work, santeria, Ife, carambole, all kinds of stuff, Filipina magic, all kinds of stuff, entities from all over the planet to tamper with you, to cause fights, shit like that. Now it's going reverse, and they can't stand it. But remember, they called it. They called it, not you. It's different because this is the thing. The karmics are projecting into your reality, into your energy field with the magic that they want to happen to you, right? So when you start to break that magic, when you start to do the reversals, etc., they get the backlash for that spiritually on their 12-strand DNA because they called it, you see? So it's like basically like when you have to send out a letter and they say, okay, who sent the letter? You can't put a fake address. You have to put your address, right? Exactly. So then let's say the letter doesn't get to who you sent it to. It has to go back to what? It has to go back to the return address. These karmics don't realize that. It goes back to them and the practitioner. So they're getting that spiritual chimerism as well. You're not getting shit because you didn't call it on yourself. They made the pact. That's what I'm saying. They made the pact. They signed the contract. They made the agreement to go into that spell work or go into that ritual or go into whatever. And then they got their 12-strand DNA blown open. Now they're dealing with the chimerism and they don't understand why. Some of these karmics are about to learn. They're going to start getting sick. All kinds of shit's going to start happening, getting exposed, all that type of stuff. Some of them, like I said, they talk about the word of God and da-da-da-da-da, and our Father this and our Father that, but then talking about, come on now, they're spiritual hood hopping, spiritual set hopping. That's why they're getting caught up. What messages do you have? What messages do you have, please? Let me see. All right. Yeah. Thank you, call me sister. That's another thing. That's why you don't really got to cast spells and stuff like that. Besides protecting yourself, clearing, banishing, healing yourself, da-da-da-da-da, you don't really need spell work. You really don't. Honestly, like, I'm going to just keep it hella real. People who are really master magicians with spell work, they know that they don't play with spell work like that all day. They don't. People who really know spell work and know magic and stuff like that, they don't play with magic all day because they already know the consequences. What messages do you have? Yeah, thank you so much for being here, John Diamond. What messages do you have, please, regarding the spiritual chimerism? What messages do you have regarding, you got blockages, I'm telling you right now. Yeah, these karmics are getting blocked too. And you want to know another thing about this spiritual chimerism? Because a lot of these different systems too, they're a part of principalities that are being impacted by the Pluto transits that we've been having since about 2018, right? So a lot of these different systems are getting reprimanded too for their involvement in the Crusades, their involvement in the transatlantic slave trade, their involvement in the Berbers getting shifted and casted out across the desert, their involvement in destroying the symbols and the goddess culture. Their principality is under judgment. So the funny thing is these karmics are playing with the devil, and then on top of that, they're trying to align themselves with this principality that's getting hella karma too. You see, that's why I said, like, it's okay to study different type of practices and things like that. But honestly, once you master the principles of energy, once you understand the heavenly bodies and all that type of stuff and other dimensions, you don't really need to even tamper with different type of deities and stuff like that. Call on your ancestors. Call on the ascended masters, Mother, Father, God. You see, But these karmics are blocked from that because of the shit that their ancestors did in past lifetimes. That's what I'm saying. They're activating past lifetime karma too with that spiritual chimerism. Okay, guess what? You want to play in these different systems right here. You want to call on A, B, C, and D. But guess what? Remember, your ancestors in past lifetimes, they sacrificed to Moloch. So you still owe Moloch too now. Oh, in past lifetimes, your ancestors did sacrifices to Baal. So you're tied to Baal too now. Oh, well, in past lifetimes, your ancestors were tied to Nuriona. So you're tied to that entity as well too. And you're talking about you want to go do A, B, and C, but you called on more debt. So you got to pay the piper here and you got to pay the piper now. You see the spiritual chimerism that these karmics are dealing with. That's why they're getting blocked from keys to the streets. That's why they can't manifest authentically. They can't because of what their ancestors did. Yeah. And you got support. And this is another thing I was telling you guys about how some of these karmics that play with energy harvesting or they like to do all types of spell work and magic on people. You got to make a pact with the other people's spiritual guides too. Because you're going against the other person's will. So there's a contract and agreement that you're forcing somebody else to sign. Okay, well, I want to do this death ritual on you. I'm going to do the spell for you to be A, B, C, and D, and I'm going to send these entities to you. Well, my spiritual team and my Akashic workers don't agree because that's not in my path. So now these karmics who have backlog in terms of contracts that they try to write, but they couldn't cash. You see that? It's like when you have a certain amount of money in your bank account and you're like, fuck, let me see if I can try to just get all these off before the overdraft comes, right? So I can pay for 1, 2, 3 before the overdraft kicks in. These karmics, they try to do way too many and the overdraft been kicked in. Now it's just, they're just occurring hella different fees and shit like that. They don't even know that spiritually though. They're in debt here. What messages do you have regarding the spiritual chimerism? Yeah, this stuff is very much real. You will blow open your DNA trying to call on different entities, playing with different rituals, all that type of stuff. But the funny thing is these karmics are they're trying to find stronger and stronger entities to try to handle you and bind you and stuff like that. And they're just creating more spiritual debt for themselves and blowing up in their DNA even more. That's why even when some of these entities are blocking them, like, nah, there's nothing you can offer us, so we know we're not going to get paid. There's nothing we can do with you. You owe the devil too much. Some of these karmics are in debtor's prison spiritually. They don't even know it. What messages do you have, spiritual chimera? What messages do you have, spiritual chimerism? You got friends right here. Be careful. Some of these karmics too, because of the spiritual chimerism, they're trying to surround themselves with other unsuspecting people that are going to take that karma because they know that their Akashic record is filled with garbage. It's no more. It's at this point where they even have to write between the lines. They even have to like write on the side columns. They even have to like put things in like little bowl, like, okay, here's the karma, because their Akashic records are so filled with fuckery. Yeah, you got friends right here. These karmics are looking for people to offset their karma onto as well. That's why a lot of people around them are getting caught up. Car accidents happening around them, getting sick, losing jobs, losing money, getting caught up in karma. Because this spiritual chimerism has gone too far and somebody's DNA has been blown open. Now all these entities are coming to pay the piper. These karmics are even sacrificing their friends. They don't even know it though. Some people don't even know that they're being used as sacrifice for the karmics. They don't know. Come to this meditation group or come to this event, come to this, and they're getting sacrificed. They don't even know it. This karmic is leading people into the mouth of the beast. Yeah. Bringing people because they have no more to pay. And they try to sacrifice you. They try to sacrifice and attack divine people. They can't. So now they're only surrounded by other people who are lower than them. The entity's like, fuck, I'll take all of them. They're like, okay, well, come to this meditation group or drink this or take this crystal. Now the entity has a bunch of other people to feed off of and power off of because of the karmic. Some people better be careful playing with these karmics. Better be careful. Yeah, because they got major karma on them. What messages do you have? Spiritual chimerism? Yeah, you said that's why I don't show up. Yeah, stay the fuck up out of that. Multivite will get you right. Yes, I love that. What messages do you have? Spiritual chimerism? You got spirit, yeah, going all out, spirit, hella attacking you. You going into any ritual, anything, yeah. Going into anything to attack you, going into anything to bind you, going into anything, tying with any entity or demon. Some of these karmics don't even know that some of these karmics don't know that. Another thing that is happening is some of these karmics don't even know that some of these entities, they don't even tell you what they require of you. It's like, remember I talked about this so long ago. You guys remember in American Horror Story with Vivica A. Fox, and she was Madame Marie Laveau, and Baba Legba, basically, she told Baba Legba, I want to be one of the most powerful witches in Louisiana, New Orleans parish. And he was like, okay. And she was like, all right, fine. And then she started getting powerful and helping people and doing this and doing that. Remember, Baba Legba come in the middle of the night and said, give me that baby. Give me that baby boy. And she said, why? He said, I gave you what you wanted. You asked for this. You asked for power. You asked for that. Give me the baby. And she was like, no, she didn't know what she had to give up though. Baba Legba didn't tell her. Okay, didn't I tell you that some of these entities are tricksters? They don't give a single fuck. They don't give a fuck. They just want to get paid. They don't care. They're like, oh, this bitch is stupid enough to try to sacrifice or do play with me or do this. Perfect. So I'm going to teach your ass. This is why you don't summon me, because I'm a grown ass motherfucker. This is why you stay out of grown folks' business. These demons are like, oh no, we're gonna train you. So these demons are writing these karmics now. They think that they're calling these demons on you, that they're sacrificing you. It's on the entity, because some of these entities, the only contract that they have is, I just want you. You think you're sacrificing somebody else? No, it's you. I got you for life now. So why work and destroy that person temporarily when I can trick you into a contract and you're with me for life? These karmics don't even know how they've tricked themselves and played themselves trying to play with you with these entities. Some of them are about to find out. Some of these entities are part of complex principalities. That's another thing too. There's different types of principalities and they have different type of mechanisms. Some of the principalities they seek to destroy. Some of the principalities they seek to absorb. Yeah. Some of these principalities they're seeking to build. So you have to think about what type is coming after and that you're dealing with. Some of these karmics don't even know the type of demons that they're playing with. Didn't I tell you there's a spiritual text that I was reading the other day? And this lady had done a review on the text, and she was saying that as she started reading it and decoding it, the text started attacking her. Some of these different spiritual practices and things like that, especially because it's coded by bloodline, you got to literally be a blood witch or lineage witch or tied by blood. Some of those things that these karmics are tapping into to get initiated in rituals, they're getting rejected because their ancestors got hella karma. This is shit from past lives working now. Oh, no. And it says here in the Cashapp records, because remember, your DNA is like a blockchain. You can never remove anything. So your ancestors in 1825 who were part of the Inquisition, they lied on a bunch of Africans and indigenous people and got them caught up in the slave trade. Okay, your ancestors were part of this ritual that was doing this and this and this. No, sorry, we can't fuck with you. And these karmics don't even know that. So they're going to go get tied with that entity, thinking that the entity is going to give them power, not knowing that the entity is vampirizing off them. Yeah, and the entity is just using them, like attack that person or put that out or steal here or vaporize there just to feed the entity. Some of these karmics don't even know that. What they've opened, they're completely taken over. Didn't I tell you they have no sovereignty? None at all in the spiritual realm because of the spiritual chimericism. Yeah. Yes, this is a lot of information. That's what I'm telling you. That's why I said I stopped putting high vibing content, like very high, like spiritual things, because a lot of this stuff is not written anywhere, right? It's like you have to have gone through those realms to understand the processes. And then I can't keep on giving the keys to the streets because some people try to use this stuff for harm. So that's another thing too. But I love you guys so much. And you guys deserve to hear this shit. This spiritual chimera shit is real. Yeah, they're getting blocked. They didn't know what they were playing with. And then you come with your DNA. You don't got hella karma or bullshit, or you do your work and your intentions are clear and pure. You know, what you've done in this current lifetime is not that much. You've learned your lessons. You've done what, but you want to be a good person. And they're like, okay, you know what? You can't attack this person because their DNA is not a match for the attack that you're trying to put on them. You're trying to put false karma on this person. That's another thing too. Karma is what you do. Karma is also what you don't do. You don't want to take responsibility for your actions, or you don't want to stop bothering somebody. You want to misuse and abuse. It's misuse and abuse of time as well. Karma, misuse and abuse of energy. That's karma too. So these karmics are trying to put false contracts on you and do these different type of things. That's another reason why they're getting karma, because there's no purpose. Karma is also no purpose. When something has no purpose. What's the ancestor support? Better be real careful. You know, the funny thing is, the other day, I saw one of these angels, one of the babies. Yeah, this lady, she was my Lyft driver. She looked just like that angel, and her name was actually Angel. And the funny thing is, she had a tattoo of a flower on her, behind her ear. But anyways, and that was just confirmation that these angels are real and they are coming down. Thank you. Let's see, clarify ancestor support. Hi, Maddie Dunn. I'm sending you so much love that you'll get the support that you need. Okay, you're going to be okay. Clarify ancestor support. Just keep meditating. Clarify ancestor support, please, for the spiritual chimerism. You got the star card. Exactly. DNA, healing. This is also, too, the planets and the stars, astrology, your birth chart. Because Aquarius was over astrology. That's why you got the ancestor support and the star card. That's why I'm telling you, these karmics are going to realize something, that you're protected, that there's divine protection around you. And all the shit that they went to go try to tamper with you only turned them into a spiritual chimera. And that's why they're having problems now. They're having problems with their health. Shit is backfiring because they've taken on so many different personalities and so many different karmic loads and debts by trying to tamper with people and do this and do that. They've created so many different false timelines. That's what I'm talking about. That's why when they try to look at the yellow brick road in front of them, it's all going up and down like this, appearing and disappearing, turning this color and that color. One minute they see sunshine, the other minute they see storms and things like that. They blew up in their Cashapp records. Now it's kind of like they removed themselves from the tree of life. These karmics don't understand what they do when they play with that spiritual chimeraism. Because the tree of life, there's also the tree of death. It turns inverted, upside down. Exactly. And in that tree, it's the more you get off the branches, the deeper you fall into the abyss. That's what that one is. So that's what these karmics are dealing with now. They're no longer on the tree of life. No. They forfeited that. They forfeited that, but what they played with, what they opened up. That's why you don't play with that shit, because that's how you forfeit your ability to be on the tree of life. Okay, you forfeited, you left the tree of life, you wanted to play with the spell work, you wanted to be a spiritual chimera, then now you have to go be with the tree of death. Now these karmics are realizing what they lost, playing with that stuff. They can't be light anymore. It's like when you're a vampire. Once you get bit and become a vampire, you change completely. Yeah, you can't go back to being a human. These karmics are realizing what they gave up permanently by playing temporarily. They call on this entity out of anger for 5 minutes. This thing is running their life for 5 lifetimes. How about that? Remember we talked about this with the hangman energy and how a lot of these masculines were sacrificed in past lifetimes. So they come into this reality in this lifetime carrying that same energy and then ending up in that same hangman position, whether that be with karmics or the justice system or with whatever mental illness or da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, these karmics are realizing the same thing, the spiritual chimeraism. That in past lifetimes they did the same thing. Now they're going to have more lifetimes to think about this. Clarify blockages. You got the magician here. Yeah, blocked. The ancestors are blocking them because of this fuckery too. And a lot of these karmics, because they did that, you got the temperance card here. They've completely forfeited their ability to even have angels around them. Yeah. They're completely marked by the archangels with the temperance card here. They're blocked by the archangels. Temperance is an angel. It's Archangel Michael. Yeah, it says regains the favor of those one has offended. Wow. Because these karmics have offended the gods and the angels by the shit that they were playing with. They were looking down like, are you serious? You're calling on that type of energy? You're calling on that type of entity and demon? You guys have to also understand too, these karmics, they get it's like when you put out like they can trace it back to you, or it's like a shot spotter. Okay, you know, in the hood, they have a shot spotter. So if you shoot in the hood, then it's going to alert the police that there's actual gunshots, not fireworks. They can tell when it's gunshots. It's a shot spotter. Some of these karmics don't even know that they're spiritual shot spotter. Like the ancestors saw them activate and call on these different demons and open up these different portals. That's another reason why they're getting this, because they've upset angels. We did all that work to bind those entities, to destroy those demons, to do all this. Why the fuck would you open that up again? Come on, some of these karmics don't know that some of these demons and entities are connected to certain archetypes. Archetypes that are not conducive with this reality. Think about the archetype of the chimera, the animal, the chimera with the head of a lion, a goat, and a dragon. That cannot be in this reality in this day and age. You see what I'm talking about? But these karmics, they open portals like that spiritually that allow those type of entities to come on energetically. You may not be able to see them, but then they come and inhabit individuals and create new fucking ways of thinking and being. And these archetypes can take over many individuals at one point. They're like principalities as well. And these are entities and demons that we've gotten rid of a long time ago, or we haven't called on a long time ago. That's why these karmics are getting caught up right now, because with the angel, the magician here, they did too damn much. Spiritual wisdom. They had no spiritual wisdom. They're blocked from it. Temperance. These angels are not fucking with them. They're pissed off. Some of these karmics are going to find out that they're not talking to angels. They're talking to low-vibing demonic entities that they called on through magic or ritual or whatever in this 12-strand DNA, this chimera. Because when you blow up in your 12-strand DNA, like I said, you become a free agent, like a free radical. You're all open. Anything can get attached to you. Anything can bind onto your cells and make you more volatile, more radical, things like that. These karmics didn't realize what they did when they played with that. So now they're open to all kinds of archons and entities and spirits on all dimensions of existence. That's what they fail to understand. It's on all levels of that existence. Clarify, friends. Yeah, this spiritual chimerism stuff is really real. Be careful with these karmics, especially if you're pregnant. They're going around people that are pregnant or they're at that age. Even with the spiritual chimera, some of these karmics have even gotten pregnant because that's the entities pushing them to go reproduce so they can have another vessel to create karma through. Clarify, friends. You got the Queen of Wands, karmic female. Yeah. It says the hidden God. Be careful. Guards against mental troubles. Be careful because these karmics that are playing with this, they have mental troubles now. Yeah. That's what they get for playing with this stuff. And they're going to other people asking for help, asking to support. And these other people are getting their karma too. They're getting also blown open. Their 12-strand DNA being tampered with and played with. Be careful. Yeah. The entities that are running these karmics are trying to get them to bring other people with them to their meditation or their rituals or whatever the fuck so they can all get the entity and can all get their energy vampirized off of. That's why you got the spirit here. Yeah, God complex, for real, for real. That's how God is teaching them, though. You want to play me? You want my job? Now, let's see how you like this when all this energy you put out is unleashed into your life. And that's how these karmics are going to learn. That's how they're going to learn. By going up and opening, they're going to start to see the chaos in their immediate environment. Clarify, spirit. Clarify, spirit, please. Going all out. You got the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know, the 9 of Swords to me is like an egregor entity attachment. And then you had the 9 of Wands, something happening over and over and over again. That's why I'm telling you with the spirit card, that's why these karmics are getting this with the spiritual chimerism. They did too much. They try to go to any lengths necessary to try to break you down, to try to block you, to try to stop you, all this stuff, and it did not work. It broke down. That's why they're dealing with this now. These karmics have literally conjured something up, you know, with this mess that they were playing with, and they can't get rid of it now. The 9 of Swords is the entity attachment, a psychological one. That's what I'm telling you. There's like a helmet on their head. It's like a vortex. I can see it. It's like a vortex going from the karmic's crown chakra to whatever beast or entity that their principality they became a part of. And this thing is really working them. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these karmics that you guys are dealing with, they're no longer themselves. They're not. They've been completely hijacked by the entity. That's what I'm saying. You're going to see their behavior get more wild and wild and wild as time goes on. It's because of the spiritual chimerism. They've blown open their 12-strand DNA, so they don't even know who's who now. That's another thing too. They come like a shape, like a scatter frequency. Any type of being, any type of free agent radical can come into their energy field and take over and play now. Yeah, be careful what you do, especially if they don't do any type of clearing work or healing anything. And even for these karmics to be able to survive at spiritually with what they've done, they have to constantly be doing clearing work and protection work and shielding work and stuff like that. It's a disadvantage, but this is the thing that they pick this permanently. That's what I'm saying. It's like becoming a vampire. Your whole entire palate changes. You can't eat regular food. You need blood, etc. That's what these karmics are in now. Yeah. They're permanently bound to the devil. They're permanently going to be attached to a sex entity. They're permanently going to be attached to a demon of chaos. They're permanently going to be attached to a demon of confusion. Whatever they try to send out towards you, they're going to be permanently attached to those entities now. And this is how the Most High is going to teach them. That's why you don't play with that shit. I run that shit too. Those demons are not stronger than me. I run that shit too. All right, y'all. Wow. Whoo. Nilda, yes, they can. Get rid of that. Get rid of him. All right, y'all. This was powerful. I'm happy that we did this reading about this chimerism. Okay, let's see. Dear bright and well-loving ancestors, how do the karmics feel about the spiritual chimerism that they're involved in? How does the karmics feel about the spiritual chimerism they're involved in? You got perception and you got victim. Woo! They're starting to realize it. Yeah, they feel like they're a victim though, or they see that that's why they're getting this because of what they were trying to go into. Yeah, they're starting to realize it, and they realize that, okay, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have tried to go do this and this and this and this and this and that to this person, or I shouldn't have been going into all these different practices to try to get spiritual power or gifts or whatever. That these karmics feel like the victim, or they are a victim now to the entity that they called on. They're a slave to the entity now. They're starting to see that. They realize that they're a slave to that entity and they can't get away from it. They have to pay the piper. But some of these karmics don't realize that they have to pay with their life. They have to pay with their children's life. That's what they're going to come to realization. Some of these karmics don't realize that some of the stuff that they did, like I said, with the Baba Legba, they've sacrificed their children. Some of these karmics don't even know that. They've already sacrificed their children with some of the shit that they've done. They're going to find out very soon, though. All right, y'all. Thank you. That's what I have for you. Bye.